Hi guys, Ryan here, back with you again, down here at the Loves in Tacoma, Washington. I got down here at about 8 o'clock, as I was talking about yesterday, and coming down Tacoma Port Drive or whatever it is over here to the south of me. And I seen one parking spot over here in front of the, right in front of the shop, as you can see behind me. And I was like, I want to get that spot. I whipped it in here, came in and turned it around and backed it straight in, and I was in. And I was actually on, there's a little overflow lot on the other side of the road, which there's a few spots. There was a few spots this morning, but it's kind of tight over there, and I don't like to get my hood tore off or mirrors tore off or whatever. So I was pretty satisfied with the spot I got, and like I said, it was the only spot over here. So it was just as I pretty well predicted, knowing the area, that's the way it was going to be down here. Not really too busy right now, surprisingly. Really, pretty much all day, these fuel lines have been backed up all the way to the road. But anyways, with all that, I had a load that I was picking up down here, and I had called the agent just requesting a confirmation on the appointment times. They had an appointment time down as 15:01 or 3:01 p.m. and I was like, that don't sound like a normal appointment time. So I just asked them for a confirmation, and the agent, she's like, okay, I'll check. I asked her yesterday, and I called her again today. She said, well, get with the other broker because this is a double, it's not a Landstar load. So I finally got the number over here to Pepsi Quaker Oats. I mean, I'm only half a mile from there, and that's why I wanted to get down here. You know, so I'd be really close. So because it looks like the reviews on Google look pretty bad about as far as loading times and all that. So I wanted to be really close. So once I started my clock, I could minimize my time on duty, so I could get out of here and get, you know, maybe 500-600 miles if possible, if I had to. But so I got the phone number to this place, and I called them. I gave them the pickup number. And the appointment time and date that I had through the agent that I booked the load with at Landstar was 1500, 3 p.m. for non-military types, tomorrow on Friday, the 7th. So I called these people up and gave them the pickup number. And this guy's telling me 1900 on Saturday the 8th, you know, 7 p.m. on Saturday. And I've already got another load. I had another load booked. And I said, there's no way I'm going to be able to make it to up to Des Moines or Urbandale by Monday afternoon with a pickup time at Saturday evening. So I said, yeah, I confirmed with him twice, went over the numbers twice. The guy was nice, and I said, he's like, yeah, you need to call your dispatcher broker or whatever. So I called him up again. Well, actually, she called me right as I was getting off the phone and said, oh, they got an appointment for 3 p.m. 1500 on Saturday. I was like, no, I just talked to the guy straight from the horse's mouth. The guy said it's at 7. So you know what? I said, this isn't what I agreed to. I'm not going to sit here till Saturday night, and you're telling me 3. So what? And then they put. I said, I'm not doing it. Take me off of it, and I'll try to find something else to accommodate the other load out of Des Moines. I called about a couple loads, and I didn't really find anything that worked out. But I actually did find a better load out of Portland, which is 2 hours south of here. Portland, Oregon, going over to upstate New York, over close to Maybrook, New York, up in that area. So kind of, you know, up by Albany, and it's actually paying $220 a mile on 2,800 miles. So it's like $6,300 basically, Landstar rate. So I talked to the other agent out of Des Moines and told him I called about 5 or 6 loads that we're picking up tomorrow, Friday, and they all kind of fell through. I mean, I actually had a guy that I booked a load, and he sent me a text as I was talking to the other agent that they were behind or something and couldn't get it loaded. So I'm kind of glad, because like I said, with the reviews that I was seeing at this place, this Pepsi Quaker Oats down here, I'm not one for sitting someplace for 4 or 5 hours to get loaded, and that's what it was looking like there. So I'm going to get up about 5 o'clock and head down to Portland, and this is a direct shipper load, so that's a good deal. And I think $220 a mile on, you know, almost 3,000 miles coming off the West Coast is a pretty respectable rate. So I'm actually going to make about $1,300 more gross Landstar revenue going this route than I was with the other two loads. And this load's a little bit lighter. That load I was getting out here out of PepsiCo, it was like a little over 44,000, so I was going to be pretty well maxed out. Where this load I'm getting, it's a hazmat tanker endorsement load out of Portland, and it's like 40,000. So I mean, still on the heavy side, but it's a one stop, one pick, one drop, and I'll probably get home Tuesday morning. And I worked it in where I could probably stay home for a day and run over. It's only 7 hours from the house over to where it's delivering out in New York. So I'm pretty satisfied with that, and I think it probably worked out better for us in that retrospect. Like I said, I'm not one. These beverage places are just about as bad as food places or grocery houses. So, but this video, I got the settlement statements printed out, and I got a load board search up for about a 300-mile radius out of Chicago, because we've had a lot of people from Illinois, Chicago area asking about those loads. So I did a 1-week search from today, 7-day search from today. So I've got that up. I'm going to show you all that. That's all the loads. There's probably 100 loads on there, the top loads. So I'm going to show you all that and go to the settlements. I don't have the software on the computer like my wife has, so it's going to be kind of old school. I got the actual my July settlements printed out, the 3 of them, for I was out for about 2.5 weeks there. And pretty good numbers, I think. So we'll show you those. Like I said, they're on paper. Then I'm gonna have to use my camera to show you the laptop. So it's like I said, disregard the lack of technology, I guess you could say. So, but we'll go ahead and get in there, and I'll show you all that, and we'll continue from there. All right, guys. So here's my. I was out. Basically left about the 1st of July. I was out over 4th of July and all that. And I was out till I got back home on the 17th, and I was home for 2 days, and I delivered the last leg of this trip on the 19th in the morning. And I came back home. As you know, if you watch the channel, I was home for about 2 weeks. But so we'll just go over all this. So I started in middle field cabinet load, drop and hook both ends out to Billings, Montana. You know, so the 1099 revenue on that was about a little over $2,700. Took $800 for fuel. Then I end up, if you know that area, there's really nothing up there. So I ended up dead. I found a pretty good load with an agent that I know that has batteries down there. Pretty good rates. Most of them are in the $3.50 to $4 a mile. You know, full rate, Landstar rate on the board. So I got a Salt Lake City up to Kent, Washington, and there was a hazmat pay on that one too. So that one was about, I'm trying to do all this math in my head, almost $1,900, I guess. So with both of these loads, we were 1099 about $4,600. And with all of our expenses that came out, we're about $1,453. So for the week on that, for this settlement for the week, I was at about $3,154. So that was the first week we were out. So not a bad week. So now look at second week. I ended up getting the drop and hook out of Kent, Washington. They were at 11, Colorado. That was a Walmart load, real light load. I think the thing was less than 10,000 pounds. It didn't pay a lot on the miles, but like I said, it got me out of there quick and easy, same day. And I guess I paid about $1,800 roughly coming out of there to me, 1099 revenue. And then I got ran about 2 hours up the road to Glen Rock, Wisconsin, or Wyoming, up by Casper, then down to Goodyear, Phoenix area, Arizona, and that paid a little over $1,700. So we were at about $3,500 there. You know, 1099 revenue, $1,576 in fuel. And we had a tire come out of that. That tire back in June, I believe, I had a steer tire that I got replaced that I was nervous about there in Cheyenne, Wyoming at the TA. So that $450 came out of that. So you got to kind of add that back into this revenue, because I can't really attribute this entire cost to this trip. It didn't even happen on this trip. So it's kind of, so if you add that back in, That puts me at about $2,400 for this settlement for the week. So keep that in mind when you're looking at that. That didn't happen on this trip, and it needs to be. That's one of those costs that has to be spread over the year, basically, for that tire. So, like I said, a little under $2,500 if you figure that tire charge back in. Which that was a great discount. Cash and carry price just on that Bridgestone R284 16-ply Bridgestone tire. She quoted me $618 for that tire. That was before any taxes, installation, mounting, balancing, anything. So that's a heck of a discount when that's signed, sealed, and delivered for a 16-ply Bridgestone steer for $450. And that's one of the advantages of being like at somebody like Landstar, is you get those big discounts. So final week, which it wasn't quite a week, we had that City Industry, California, Los Angeles area to Louisville, Kentucky. Drop and hook pickup. But I got screwed there. I was there for like 6 hours, so I was pretty mad about that because and it was the agent's fault. It wasn't the customer. The guy, he told me it was going to be ready, and it wasn't. And I got there early, and then the guy was like, no, they said it's not going to be ready till 1 p.m. And they actually got me ready like 2 hours earlier. So it is what it is. But so that was that load. So 28.48 on the line haul, 618 surcharge. So what are we looking at? Almost 3,400 or so right there on that load. And then I ended up getting the short out of Louisville up to Elyria, which is close to where I live. Pretty good rate on them. It was a Tasmat tanker load. Got 617 on the line haul. She gave me an extra $50 for loading and all that. Fuel surcharge $100. So it did pretty well on that load right there. And it got me. I had to, stay an extra day, but got me back up home. And I was totally fine with driving home if I had to. I wasn't going to sit there for 2 or 3 days or something. But that kind of was icing on the cake. So with that one, we're at $42.33 on total revenue, $10.99, and expenses $12.81, which puts us just under $3,000 for that week. And it wasn't quite a week. So this whole trip. I was at about 2.5 weeks. Then, as you know, I got back on the 17th in the morning, delivered that load to Elyria, ran up there and back a couple hours in the morning on the 19th. That was a Monday morning. And then I was home until the 31st. So this is my entire July revenue, basically. So I basically had $3,000 here. And then we had, like I said, you add this tire back in on this one, that $450. And that puts us $2,400, so we're at basically $5,400 at that point, and we got $3,150, so that'll put us, what did I say, $5,400. So with this $3,154, that puts us at $8,550 basically, revenue to the truck in 2.5 weeks, and then I took the rest of the month off. So not a bad month, I don't think. I mean, if I can take home, and if I take my truck payment and my insurance for the entire month out of that, that still leaves me with well over $7,000 for the entire month. And I know in this economy, I mean, what we got going on with this virus thing and all whatever, there ain't a lot of people making $7,000 and working 2.5 weeks and then taking 2 weeks off. So it is what it is, and but that's just what we got going on right now with July. But I'm gonna go back here and show you on my computer, and like I said, apologize for the quality. Like I said, I don't have the software like my wife does on the other computer at home. But I'll go and show you. I did a search of Chicago because I had some people asking about Illinois and all that. So I'll show you that real quick and what we got going on and the amount of loads on the board, and then we'll wrap up and call it a day. Alright guys, back here on the laptop. So I did a search for $2 plus a mile, 300-mile radius of Chicago, Illinois. You got one out of Quincy to Duncan, Oklahoma. This is PUV, which is CANDUV's agents, one of their agencies. Yeah, this one, it's got 10 stops. So this has got you running all over the place most likely. $7,400, rate per mile, 229, 43,000 pounds. Take a look at this real quick. So they got you running all over the place. You're going to Waco, Duncanville, Iowa, Minnesota. So there's a lot of stops on this. And so you're got some stop pay down here, 6 stops, $75. So I'm guessing probably one of these is a cabinet load or something. But yeah, $309 a day. The way this is spaced out, I definitely wouldn't do that for that amount of revenue per day. I mean, I want to be up around 700-800 at the minimum. So that's not very. I mean, the amount of mileage, and the rate per mile. I mean, on that, if you were just driving straight through, or that was a pretty quick run, that would be a pretty attractive rate. But not for 10 days. Basically, doesn't really trip my trigger. So what else we got on here? So we got Indianapolis CGI. They got a lot of line haul stuff like FedExes and stuff. So this is 2,010 miles, $295 a mile. So I'm gonna guess this is probably a FedEx. Yeah, pulling doubles, hazmat needed. So that's not bad. I mean, if you were in the area, Indianapolis, I'd probably do that if I was down there. So it's not too bad. But I get some stuff out of Ohio, and like I said, it's Thursday afternoon, so you're gonna have better stuff probably pop up on Monday. So, but this is looking out to next week. Most of your probably better loads are probably gonna pop up Monday or Tuesday, so it kind of is what it is right now. Lima, Ohio, out to Oregon, $230 a mile, 5,300. Yeah. I mean, where I live at, I'm only 150 miles from there. I mean, that might be something I would drive out to, depending on what else was available. You got a Florence, Kentucky to Kent, Washington, 218. Most of these are hazmat loads, as you can see. A lot of hazmat loads and stuff on here. But Edwardsville, Illinois, the Tumwater, Washington, 232. 19,000 pounds hazmat loads. So that ain't too bad. Another Edwardsville to Olympia, Washington, and 232 hazmat, 20,000 pounds. Not too bad. So then you got a Chicago, West Chicago, out to Sparks, Nevada, 243, 40,000 pounds. And like I said, when you see like double, like Wallbridge, Ohio, that means it's a round trip. This is CAK agency. Let's see what this is all about. Wow, a lot of stops. So it's a preloaded trailer. You have the tailgate to the back of the trailer. So yeah, that must be for one customer. Yeah, and it's a preloaded trailer as well, and direct shipper, you know, Landstar customer. So yeah, I mean, depending on how many days, I mean, what are you on? I mean, it's only 3 days, so I mean, that's a pretty good amount of revenue in 3 days if you could pull this off. I mean, it takes a lot of stamina to do this amount of stops, but if you can pull them off, I mean, that's you're gonna get close. You're gonna get a little over $3,000 on that load with once you do the 65% plus the surcharge. So yeah, that would be a good amount of money for 3 days if you could pull it off. So then we got Saget, Illinois, Ontario, 253 a mile, hazmat, 42,000 pounds. That's not a bad load there. And got a Redbud, Illinois, to Waddle, Arizona, 293 a mile, 42,000 pounds. Has no, not hazmat, so $4,500. That's not a bad load. Then what else we got? Centralia, Illinois, to Kent, Washington, 207. So I mean, not too high. And I'm just on coming off the top of the list. Here's actually a load, a short haul load here. I don't know if this load actually exists, but I'll bring it up anyways. So you got a St. Louis to Marietta, Georgia, which I believe is down by Atlanta. And they got this listed on here for $805. So whether that's a good load or not is beyond me, but that's a pretty good price. So I don't know if they got you laying over for a couple days or what. So I mean, every once in a while you think it's crazy, but you'll call about this stuff and it'd be a real load. So. And here's a Quincy to St. Peters, Missouri. I'm guessing this is PUV, so it's got multiple stops as well. So like I said, that's just a few loads. I mean, the way I did a minimum rate per mile, and it puts the top revenue, you know, at the top. But we can actually, I'll just change this to top revenue. So there's a Waukesha, Wisconsin, or Arlington, Massachusetts, and 374 a mile. Metals, $4,000. Three Rivers, Michigan, to Tampa, Florida for $354 a mile. Hazmat, 27,000 pounds, 4,000 total revenue. So I mean, yeah, the board's pretty good right now. Let me go back to my internet's not that fast here, so for some reason. Alright, sorry if this ever loads. I wanted to show you the total number of loads on the board. Or not. Alright, so sorry about that. I got that loaded up, so I had to log out and log back in. But we're at about 45,000 loads right now, so we're way back to pre-coronavirus crap freight levels. And I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with the rates I've been getting on the long haul stuff that I do. Like I said, I can't really talk for the short haul guys and what they're doing over on the East Coast or east of I-35, but you know, I run all the way, you know, as far as I can go to the left, basically, or over to the Pacific, and I'm pretty satisfied with the rates I'm getting, the rates that I'm getting coming back. You know, typically with coming out here, you get a good rate coming out, and the load I just booked, as I just said at the beginning, I had that other load cancel, or I canceled it because they wanted to change the deal. I've got $220 a mile on that, on almost 3,000, you know, 2,850 miles. Coming off this part of the country, I think that's a pretty good, you know, real good. Getting 265 coming out, 220 going back. That puts me on average, because they're about the same miles, you know, that puts me down on about a 240, 245 average, basically. So a pretty good round trip for, you know, for close to 6,000 miles. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. But that's pretty much the load board for right now. If you get any more requests, I'll try to work those in when I can the next time. So. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for me for the day. That's, like I said, got the settlements there, signed, sealed, and delivered as promised, even though it's quite a bit late, but those were for the month of July for what I did work. As you know, if you keep up with the channel, we took some time off to do some farm stuff and a little construction and whatnot, and when I get back home, we'll be finishing that up. And it's getting time, probably putting out some garlic pretty soon and other winter crops, so watch out for that if you're interested in that type of stuff. So I did a little bit on the load board. If you got any requests, put those in. I'll try to get to them if I remember, and if you know, if all works out. It's hard to get everybody in because there's so many. There's on the Landstar board. There's thousands of options, of search options. So it's hard to get everybody's in, or exactly what you want, or the exact platform, or team, non-team, whatever. So there's so many different variables to throw in there, and I apologize I can't get everybody in, but we'll do what we can. But like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video and the information we're putting out. Like I said, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell for the updates, and we'll see y'all next time. Be headed down to Portland here about 5 o'clock in the morning. grab that other load up and probably park for the day, and hopefully be back home Tuesday morning or so, maybe, and run over to New York. I got her set up for Friday morning over there, so I might be able to get a little breather in on the way home, and then get back home and take another week off or so. But that's where we're at now. And again, like I said, we appreciate all the support, and we'll see y'all next time.